Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, this is our third session for Quant Workshop. In the previous two sessions, we have discussed some problems. Even in this session, we are going to take some more problems. So, I'm sure you are ready for this. So, get set, go. Let's begin. In a class of 60 students, the average age of 25 girls is 12 years and the boys is 18 years. Thereof, the students aged 18, 19, 20 years leave the class and are replaced by 4 students. Okay. 3 students are leaving and 4 students are joining. Okay, that means, okay, find the change in the average age of the class. First of all, what we do, we find out the average of, overall average, maybe girls and boys. So average of girls is 12, average of boys is 18. Overall, I assume it to be x. So it's 18 minus x upon x minus 12. Girl boy ratio is 5:7, 25 is to 35. So that's 5:7. That's 18 into 7, 126 plus 60. That means 166 by 12. That is x. Okay. So that is average. Right, but since there are 3 students are leaving and 4 are joining, that means we need to find out the total, right? So that's okay, I'm sorry, it is 186, 126 plus 60, so 5, 17, 9, 30. That is the total of the class. Now see, what is the loss? That is 18 plus 19 plus 20, that is 19 into 3. The loss is 57 in the total, right? And 10 plus 10 and 11 plus 11, the gaining is 42. So precisely 15 is the loss in the total. So the new total is 915 and the new number of students is what? 61, right? So 15 into 6, 90 and 15. Okay, so that's 15. So initial average was 186 by 12, that is 15.5, and new average is 15. That means the loss is of 0.5 years. Okay. Now see this here. If the HCF and LCM of A and B are x and y such that xy is 54. And also both the HCF and LCM of KA and LB, where K and L are integers, is 18. Which of the following can be the value of A by B? Now friends, HCF and LCM of two numbers, they have a property. Product of the numbers is equal to product of their HCF and LCM, right? That means A into B is equal to X, Y, and that is 54. That means AB is equal to 54. Now we have other two numbers KA and LB. Now their HCF and LCM is same, that is 18. That means both the numbers should be same, that's 18. KA is 18 and LB is also 18. Now since K and A, both of them are integers, maybe K is, and the product of them is 13, so maybe 3, 6 and 1 and 18, we have two options, maybe 2 and 9 also. So suppose K is 3, then A must be 6. So if A is 6, then A into B is 54, that means B must be 9, right? Similarly, B can be 9, A can be 6. Okay, so the ratio of A by B may be 2 by 3 is also possible, 3 by 2 is also possible, and since we have only one correct option, that means that that is possible over here is all of these. Okay, 1 by 6 can also be obtained if we take one of them as 1 and other of them as 54. Okay, so not 54. See, 1 upon 6 is possible when we take 2 and 9, suppose. So when A is actually 3, B will be 18, then we'll be able to get 1 by 6 also. Okay. If the roots of the equation this are in the ratio m is to n, then mn, we have to choose the correct option. Okay, I assume the roots are nk and nk, right? So m plus n, k will be minus b by a, and m n k square will be c by a. Now I need to eliminate k, obviously. So m plus n whole square k square is equal to b square by a square, right? If I divide this equation by this equation, I'll be getting m plus n whole square by mn is equal to b square by a square by c by a, right? So m plus n whole square ac is equal to b square mn. Okay, a 30-second question, nothing else. Now this problem based on time and work. Ravi and Manish can do a piece of work in 16 and 20 days respectively. How long will it take to finish the work if Manish to be replaced by Sanjay after 2 days? Okay, given that Sanjay and Manish can together finish the work in 12 days. First of all, we find out the capacity. Okay, no problem. See, in 2 days, what is the fraction of the work that is done? See, in 2 days, 2 by 16, that is 1 by 8, or we can say 12.5% work has been done by Ravi, right? And 2 by 20, that is 10% of the work has been done by Manish. That means in 2 days, initial 2 days, 22.5% work is already done. Now, what is the capacity of Manish? We have to find out. I'm sorry, what is the capacity of this third guy, Sanjay, that we have to find out. Now, Sanjay and Manish can together finish the work in 12 days, right? Capacity of Manish is actually 20 days. That means, see, in 12 days, Manish will be doing 12 by 20, or we can say 3 by 5 of the work. That means Sanjay will be doing 2 by 5 of the work in 12 days. So what is the capacity of Sanjay? See, he does 2 by 5 work in 12 days. That means the entire work he'll be doing in 30 days. Okay, so capacity of Sanjay is 30 days. Now this is actually 9 by 40 of the work, still pending 31 by 40 part of the work, right? Now this guy Ravi and the Sanjay, both of them are working now. So 1 by 16 plus 1 by 30, we can say. So that's 240. Per day they are doing 23 by 240 of the work. Now they have to do 31 by 240 of the work. So how much time they will take? Now entire work is done in 240 by 23 days. So 31 by 40 work will be done in this much days. So that's this is around 8 and 2 days they have already taken. So around 10 days they will take to complete it. Okay, no need to go for the actual calculation because options are quite far from each other. Okay. Now see this. A group of students splits into two and sets out on different routes to reach the base camp. Group A travels at 20 km per hour, whereas Group B moves at this. The distance traveled by Group A and B are in the ratio 3:2. If the two groups reach with a difference of 30 minutes, what is the distance traveled by Group A? Simple one. Maybe we assume the distance traveled by groups are in the ratio 3:2, that is 3x and 2x. Now with the speed of 20 km per hour, Group A has to cover up 3x, so it will take 3x by 20 this much hours, right? And the other group, it will take, the distance has to be covered up is 2x with the speed of 30 km per hour. And this difference is half an hour. So 5x is equal to 30, that means x is equal to 6, and the distance covered by Group A is 3x, so it is 3 into 6, 18 km. Okay. Now see this. A cycle dealer buys 30 bicycles, of which 8 are of first grade and rest second grade for rupees 4725. Find at what price he must sell the first grade bicycle so that if he sells the second grade bicycle at this price, he makes an overall profit of 40%. Pretty simple problem. I assume the selling price of the first grade quality is X rupees. So he is selling 8 bicycles for X rupees. So this is the revenue, and remaining 22 bicycles at 3/4 of X. So this is the revenue, and overall revenue is what? 4725 into profit is 1.4. 40% profit, that means this is cost price, so 1.4 times of that is the overall selling price. So this is the equation that we have to solve, and we have to get the value of X. Okay, so solve it. (16x plus 33), that's 49x is 4725 into 1.4 into 2. Okay. Now see this, from a 10 liter flask full of alcohol, 2 liter are emptied and refilled with water. Now from the mixture the same amount is removed and the flask is refilled with water. How many times should the process be repeated so the flask has less than 50% alcohol? Simple problem. See, initially alcohol, water, total. It's 10, 0 and the total is 10 liter. Now in the next step 2 liters are emptied. That means 20% is being removed, right? So it is 8, it's 2 and it's 10. After that once again the same amount is removed. That means 20% every time is removed and replaced by water. That means every time 20% of alcohol will be reduced. So in the next step 20% of 8 will be reduced, that means 80% of 8 will be there, so it's 6.4, right? It will be left. Further, 80% of 6.4, that will be 55.12, that will be left. After that, in the next step, the amount will be less than 5.12. That means overall less than 50%. Okay, so first operation, second, third, and in fourth operation, or after completion of the fourth operation, the amount of alcohol will be less than 50%. Okay. Now this problem. At the beginning of a party, each person present shook hands with all other persons present, and there were in all 28 handshakes. Okay. In the midst of the party, 2 persons left due to an emergency. Now the number of males and females present in the party were equal. At the end, each female shook hand only with every female present and each male shook hand only with every male present. What is the total number of handshakes that took place in the party? Now friends, each handshake take 2 persons. That means we have to find out, initially suppose we find out the total number of persons present in the party, right? See, I suppose there are n percent, right? So it takes 2 persons for one handshake. So whatever the number of combinations, 2 combinations, that will be 28. So NC2 is 28, right? N persons are present, and we had to find out the combinations of 2 persons, all the combinations of 2 persons, and that is actually 28. So NC2 is what? N minus 1 by 2, and that's 28. So N into N minus 1 is 56. N and N minus 1 are 2 consecutive numbers, and their product is 56. That means we can think of 8 and 7. So N must be 8, right? So initially the number of persons were 8. Now 2 persons left. That means now 6 persons are there. 3 males, 3 females. Now each female is shaking head with female only. So there will be 3 C2 handshakes. That's 3. Each male is shaking head with male only. So further there will be 3 C2. That's 3 handshakes. So 3 plus 3, more 6 handshakes will be there. Initially 28. Now more 6. That means in all 34 handshakes will be there in the party. Okay. And an interesting one. Friends, I have a problem. This x square is given over here and we have to find out the value of x. See, it's a very big irrational number. You can see it very well. And if I tell you this problem can be solved mentally, you won't believe me. But listen to me carefully. After a minute, you'll be able to solve this problem mentally. See, whenever you see this sort of expression, right, this particularly if I talk about 3 plus 2 root 2, right, these expressions are always in the form of a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square. Now how? See, a plus b whole square is what? A square plus b square plus 2ab, and a minus b whole square is a square plus b square minus 2ab, right? Now, product of the number is in between and sum of the number is this. Think of two numbers, their product must be 2 and sum must be 3. I have the two numbers as 1 and 2. Now what will be my next step? Just listen to me carefully. Root 2 plus 1 whole square. If it is plus over here, it should be plus over here. If it is minus, it should be minus, right? Product of the number is 2, 1 and 2. Sum of the number is 3. 1 plus 2, that's 3, right? Your job is done. Now if you open up root 2 plus 1 whole square, what you will be getting? 2 plus 1 plus 2 root 2, right? That is 3 plus 2 root 2, right? So that was very simple. That means 3 plus 2 root 2 can be written as root 2 plus 1 whole square. Getting my point? So if we wish to take the square root of 3 plus 2 root 2, it will be root 2 plus 1 only. Okay? Isn't it very simple? If it is 3 minus 2 root 2, then the square root will be root 2 minus 1, because in that case we will be getting minus over here. Right? So pretty simple. So 3 plus 2 root 2, this is x square. That means first of all we find out x. X square itself. So 3 plus 2 root 2, it is in square root. So if it comes out of the square root, it will be root 2 plus 1. Similarly, this is actually root 2 minus 1 whole square. So if it comes out of square root, it will be root 2 minus 1. Now what will happen to this? See, here it's not 2ab but 12ab, right? So what you do to make it 2ab, you break it in 2 into 6, and that 6, take the 6 into the square root. So 6, if it goes into square root, it will be 36, right? So finally it is 17 minus 2 root 72. Now we have converted this to similar in this manner. So think of the two numbers, their product must be 72 and sum must be 17. So that's nothing but 8 and 9, right? So this is root 9 minus root 8 whole square. Okay? 9 plus 8 is 17. 9 into 8 is 72, right? So this is root 9 minus root 8 whole square. If you open it up, it will be 9, that is root 9 whole square, that's 9 plus 8 minus 2 into root 9 into root 8, that's 72. Okay, so square root of this will be what? Root 9 minus root 8. So root 9 is actually 3 minus and root 8. Okay, now this is what? X square. If you see, 1 and 1 is cancelled. Now root 8 can be written as 2 root 2. This is root 2 and this is root 2. This is positive 2 root 2 and this is negative 2 root 2. So they will be cancelled. So x square is just 3. That means x is equal to root 3. How simple it is if you know this funda. If you don't know this funda, then you cannot solve this problem. Okay? I quickly take us one or two more examples so this concept will be clear in your mind once for all. Suppose I have 6 plus 2 root 5. I have to find out the square root of this. See what? Product of the number should be 5 and sum must be 6. So that's a 1 and 5. So that's root 5 plus 1 whole square. And this is square root. So finally it is root 5 plus 1. Isn't it very simple? Similarly, suppose I have 9 minus 2 root 14, right? Sum should be 9, product must be 14. I can think of 2 and 7. So this is root 7 minus root 2 whole square, right? If I have to find out the square root, it will be root 7 minus root 2. Isn't it very simple, friends? Similarly, suppose I have 15 minus 4 root 14, right? Now I want 2 over here. So what I'll do, 15 minus 2. If this 2 goes into the square root, it will be 4, right? So it is precisely 14 into 4, that's 56. Now think of the two numbers, product is 56 and sum is 15, that is 7 and 8. So this is root 8 minus root 7 whole square, right? If you open it up, it will be 8 plus 7 minus 2, 8 into 7. Okay, quite simple. I hope you are getting me. Now let's say this problem. Here ABCD is a rectangle with dimensions 15 and 20. Two circles are drawn touching one diagonal and two sides as shown in the figure. We have to find out XY. That means distance between their touching point with this diagonal. Okay. So first of all, see, whenever you see a problem based on triangle and circle, right, you should be able to recall the concept of in circle. Right now here this is 15, this is 20, so 15, 20, that means we can assume of or we can recall of the Pythagorean triplet 3, 4, 5, right? These are 5 times, so 15, 20, and this must be 25. That means this diagonal must be 25, right? Now area of any triangle can be written as in two types, right? So this is 15 and 20, so that half into base into altitude. Similarly, this can be written as in the term of in radius also. So what is that? That is semi-perimeter into in radius. Semi-perimeter, that is addition of these three, that is all the three sides divided by 2. That is semi-perimeter of any triangle. Okay, so 15 plus 25, that is 40, plus 20, 60, that means semi-perimeter will be 30. Okay, so and into in radius, that we have to calculate. Okay, so this is the area of the triangle, half base into altitude, and in other ways we can write out the area of the triangle as semi-perimeter into in radius, right? Here semi-perimeter is 15 plus 25 plus 20, that is sum of the sides divided by 2. So that's 30 into in radius. Okay. So in radius will be nothing but 5, right? That means this should be 5. Because this is 5, this should also be 5. If this is 5, this must be 10. Obviously, this is a symmetric figure. So whatever is the radius of this circle, the same will be radius of this circle, right? So this is 10. That means this should also be 10, because from an external point, if we put up the tangent, two tangents on the circle, their length must be same, right? So if this length is 10, this length must also be 10, right? Similarly, the same thing will happen over here. This length will also be 10. Right, now we know the complete length of BD, that is 25, that we have already calculated. Out of this, 10 is this, 10 is this, so 20 has already gone. That means XY must be out of 25. If we deduct 20, it will be 5, right? So that's our answer. Okay, so whenever you see a problem based on circle that is inscribed in a triangle, you should be able to recall this concept of in circle, that is area of a triangle base into altitude is equal to semi-perimeter into in radius. That's an important one. And apart from that, if you have a circle that is circumscribed to the triangle, then it is ABC by 4R. Here ABC are the three sides and R is the circumradius. So you should remember this relationship. This is the area of the triangle, this is the area of the triangle, and this is also area of the triangle. And one more formula I have already given you several times, that is half A into B into sine C. That is also area of the triangle, right? If you know all these four formulae to find out the area of the triangle, all the problems based on triangle and circle will be done very easily. Okay? Now see this problem. A and B walk from X to Y a distance of 52 km at a speed of 6 and 7 respectively. B reaches Y and return immediately and meets A at Z. Okay, suppose this point. Distance Y to Z we have to find out. Okay, I assume this distance to be D, right? Now what I can do, this person A is walking for 52 minus D kilometer with the speed of 6 km per hour, and this other person that he is walking the entire 52 then plus D. Okay, he is going this covering up the entire 52, then he is coming back D kilometer. So 52 plus D kilometer he is covering with the speed of 7, right? And both of them are taking same time. So this is distance by speed, that is time. This is distance by speed, that is time, right? So precisely what we have to find out, we have to find out this D. So 52 plus D, by 7 is equal to 52 minus d by 7. So 52 into 7 minus 6, if I take it common, okay, 52 into 7 minus 52 into 6 is equal to 7d plus 60, that is 13d. So d is equal to 4 kilometer. Okay, so this distance must be 4 kilometer. Pretty simple. Friends, we'll be discussing more problems based on quantitative aptitude in our next session. Get ready for that and do revise this session. Try to solve problems on your own. This way you'll be able to practice well. Okay. Now I'm sure you must be gaining the confidence in this topic. Okay. Bye-bye.